What do our local libraries have to do with protecting your health? 1, knowledge and expertise, and 2, a new series of workshops are coming to libraries all across Vermont, helping you learn strategies for researching health concerns and making your doctor's visits more productive and proactive. Let's go learn more on Across the Fence. Hello, Vermont. On average, during a medical visit, you get about 15 minutes to communicate all your symptoms and concerns with your doctor. That's slightly longer than the length of this show, and I can tell you, by experience, it goes by very fast. How do you ensure you get all your points across and your needs addressed? That's what my guests are here to talk about today. Jerry Amori is a retired healthcare risk management professional who now serves as a patient advisor for the UVM Medical Center. And Maria Avery is the community outreach manager for UVM Libraries. Together, they are helping folks learn to better navigate the healthcare system and get their needs met. Maria and Jerry, welcome.
Thank you.
So nice to have both of you guys here this morning.
Thank you.
So we alluded to it in our little setup there, but what is the big problem that you were trying to solve?
Well, the big problem we're trying to solve is that patients, by and large, don't really understand how the healthcare system works. And I became aware of that working in healthcare when there were, of course, a lot of complaints, and I've heard complaints for years, right? But after I stopped getting money from working in healthcare and became a retired person, I was hearing it more and more from people around me and began to realize that it's not their fault they don't understand the system. We need to educate people about the system so they can get the most from the system.
Yeah.
And that's
when you,
part of it.
And when you say the system, like what exactly do you mean?
I mean the healthcare system. I mean,
well,
like when you
system,
go in.
the doctor's visit, the way that they're set up.
The doctor's visit, the appointment system, all of it, but
Okay.
particularly the doctor visit.
And especially because now, under insurance, those visits have become so short and the interaction time with your physician is really limited.
And a lot of people don't realize that. You know, they'll say, that doctor was acting like they didn't have any time to talk to me. Well, guess what? They don't.
They're using a different framework for a medical visit.
Yeah. So I really spend a lot of energy explaining to people how to maximize that time. Because you get the most when you put the most in and you're prepared for it, right?
Right. And then you had the same thing.
Yeah, on the information side, there's so much information out there, which means that there is some really great information and there's some not so great information. And I think folks don't understand that they can really have a more engaged, a more reciprocal a more reciprocal or engaged relationship with the information that they're getting out there online, and that they can really have that power when they're going into their doctor's appointment.
So they needed some more strategies also to be able to sift through the information. Sift, we're going to come back around to that in a minute. Yes, in order to be able to get ready.
That's right.
So Jerry, then this was part of your idea. You helped get the ball rolling. What prompted you to do this?
Just in talking with people and realizing how miserable they were and how much they hated the medical system, and some of it was stuff they could do something about. You know, and that we also know historically there are a lot of misdiagnosis that happen. Not all of that is the system's fault. Sometimes it's because the doctors or the system doesn't have the information it needs from the patient in order to have all the it's like trying to do a puzzle, a big old jigsaw puzzle, 1,000 piece, and not having all the pieces. And some of the pieces the patient actually has and may not realize it. So it's giving them those tools so that they can provide the pieces to get the better care.
Right. So in other words, that they need to come into the visit prepared to be able to say things about their symptoms, to be able to accurately describe and to know what's going to be effective when I explain this to my doctor. What are the pieces of information they most need to have?
You know, I have 2 pieces to this when I try to put it out for people. One is be prepared and one is be honest. And being prepared has what I call the 3 Ps in it, right? Your paperwork. So if you've got a symptom or a problem that you're monitoring, let's say you've got high blood pressure or you've got diabetes, or let's say you're worrying about a new pain in your leg, right? Write down the track of that issue. Like, has it changed from when you made the appointment? Is it worse? Is it better? Is it worse in the morning?
Okay.
You know, how is it affecting your life? Write all that stuff down so that you are prepared to give complete information. Because we think of our health on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. You ask me how I'm feeling now, I'll say, I'm okay. How does that compare to yesterday? Well, I really don't remember yesterday.
Yeah.
Not clearly.
Right.
So being prepared.
Okay.
And that's your paperwork.
Okay.
The next part is being prepared with your questions. So the doctor only has 15 minutes, as we talked about. Less than what we're going to be talking here.
Right.
So they don't have time for 50 million questions. And what we've done is we've made a little handout that we're giving out, and we're even tweaking it to make it more tight, more succinct, so that with some sample questions, but come in with 3 questions that every doctor I've talked to said, 3 questions. What are your 3 main questions? Now, while you're preparing and thinking about it, you might write down 10, but what are the big ones for you?
So you have to do some editing.
You have to do some editing. That's right. That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
So that's your second P. Your
Okay.
third P, and I call this the third P, is pleasantness, because our people who work in healthcare are not in a very pleasant environment.
Right.
They're having to rush, they're having to deal with lots of people. They want to do the right thing for you, and so their brain is going like, how does this all fit together? And if we're nasty to them, thinking we need to be demanding, that doesn't help them and it doesn't help you.
I love that. That's a very empathetic piece of the puzzle, because it is true, as fast as those 15 minutes can feel to us, they feel probably quite fast to the provider on the other side as well.
And the final point is, be honest. If you know you aren't going to do what the doctor's recommending, or you know you don't have the money for that medication and your insurance is whatever, say so. Don't just go, and then leave and then don't do it. Because what'll happen is when you come back for the follow-up and you haven't done it, you've got a frustrated physician who's trying to help you, and you will have made no progress.
Yeah, this is such sound advice. These are great strategies. Okay, so now talk to me a little bit about how UVM Libraries got involved.
So we got involved through another contact at the Dana Health Sciences Library who knew that some folks at the medical center and the patient and family advisors group wanted to revitalize some older programs that had become a little stagnant, and wanted to get this information about prepping for your doctor's visit out. And I had just started a health literacy service through my community outreach work through public libraries. And I was trying to get the word out about that, and it just seemed, once we talked, it was kind of a perfect pairing to show both sides.
Like 2 sides of the coin.
Yes, yes, of this relationship of really being prepared and having confidence in your health and knowing that you play an active role in your health, but also in the information that you consume every day.
Because it's also a little bit about counteracting Dr. Google. Have any of us ever contacted Dr. Google? I have. This is not necessarily leads you sometimes into a rabbit hole, right?
For sure.
So what are some strategies that you teach folks in order to help them have, say, better online literacy?
Yeah, so I teach a framework called the SIFT framework that you alluded to before.
Right.
That is all centered in digital literacy, and it just allows folks to have some tools in their back pockets to kind of identify some of the red flags or issues that you might see with information online.
Yeah, so what are some of those red flags?
Yeah, so some are, just those miracle cures that you hear about. There unfortunately are no miracle cures for things, but there are a lot out there, so just kind of finding what might be true or not. Also, things that are really outdated, that really matters, or don't have an author attached to them with, some credentials or something like that. And then definitely some things that are trying to evoke some really intense or powerful emotions from people. That's what gets clicks, and that's what, drives their revenue. So if you're feeling that real big emotional reaction to something, it might be a really good idea to to do that first move in the SIFT framework and stop and kind of reflect why am I having this emotional reaction to this headline or to this article.
Got it.
And that might mean a little bit more.
So it's being critical when you are online.
Absolutely.
Not looking at the first hit necessarily. Are there some publications that you steer people toward that you have faith in?
Absolutely. The biggest, I think the tried and true, is Medline Plus.
Okay.
And that's a wonderful, easy to read, approachable and accessible resource with tons of information on various health topics. And I also like to remind folks that it's available in many different languages, which is really important as well, and connects you to a lot of other really reliable and trusted health information as well.
Okay, good. So we're going to stick with the trusted information. We now have some. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good now. We've got some strategies. We know how to look at information. We know how to get prepared for our visits. This is great. This is all going to be taught at some upcoming workshops too, because you've done this once in South Burlington. Now we have a couple more coming up. Jerry, you want to tell us about those?
Sure. So on November the 6th in Williston at the Dorothy Alling Memorial Library at noon, you can see Maria and me in action. And if you missed that one, on November the 10th, you can go to Jericho to the Deborah Rawson Memorial Library.
Lovely.
So we have those two coming up. That one's at 11:30.
Super, fantastic. We're going to put some information up on the screen too for people to remind them about that.
Perfect.
How did those, and why did you decide to do these in public libraries?
Well, really because my work through public libraries started by getting our UVM Libraries services and resources out to the public, and who knows the public and their communities better than public librarians.
Yeah,
they
true.
really truly are the all-stars at this work.
Well, when we were talking, you talked about libraries as a third space.
Yes.
Too, because they're so important to their communities. Librarians oftentimes know their communities quite well, or information professionals.
Right.
And you do community outreach. UVM Libraries does a lot with community support research needs, which I didn't know. You want to tell us a tiny bit more? We only have a minute. But.
Yeah, absolutely. I do a whole bunch, of course, in health literacy, and then in other topics, just like the fundamentals of research and delving into the AI waters, which we certainly don't have time for, of course. But then, the libraries, I am not the only one that does this work. So lots of folks from Special Collections and HOW and our Dana Health Sciences Library do so much work with the community, but then we also welcome the community to come in and use our spaces too, and get guest borrower cards and use our online resources and ask for help as often as they need. So
amazing resources, now an amazing partnership. Very excited for these. I think these are going to be great for everyone. So improve your online literacy and get ready for those upcoming health appointments. Don't forget, the next two Health Bites and Insights workshops are coming up November 6th and 10th at the public libraries in Williston and Jericho. The link on the screen will get you to more information. Maria and Jerry, thank you for joining me. Valuable time this morning.
Thank you.
As always, Vermont, thank you for learning and exploring with me today, and thanks to the team that makes Across the Fence possible. I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.